Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. This is a Pokemon card art video channel where I just look at some of my favorite cards and the history of them. And today's subject is Zangoose in the Pokemon trading card game. Before we get onto the cards, just a quick look at some of the figures that are available. This is the Tomy Moncol 2-inch from back in 2003. Very nice little figure. You've also got the trading figure game figure. This was a short-lived project of didn't catch on and was cancelled after 3 series of figures, but Zangoose is one that we got a figure of. And then there's also the Zucan for 1/40th scale, came as a pair with Seviper in this case. So nice little figure again, very nice. So I do like Zangoose very much. It's a very underused Pokemon, rather forgotten sometimes, and always very much linked with Seviper. And here's a look at some of the, well, here's a look at most of the cards that one can get featuring Zangoose. So the first card that came out was by Kagamaru Himeno, or Himemaru as she likes to be known, and is a very typical piece of Himemaru artwork from this period. She used these signature style of having this light flare ring in the background of a lot of her pictures. This came out in Miracle of the Desert in Japanese in April of 2003 and was in EX Sandstorm of September 2003 in English. I'm afraid I don't have the reverse foil of this, one of the ones I'm missing. Can't find a decent clean copy without scratches, but that is the English print. The next card that came out was this one, and this was Team Magma's Zangoose, and came out in Magma versus Aqua. Sorry, I'm having a blank. Magma versus Aqua 2 Ambitions from October 2003 in Japanese, and in English it was in EX Team Magma versus Team Aqua of March 2004. The artist is Zuka, who is a computer artist who did the clay dolls from this set as well, this Zangoose, and then an energy recycle trainer card. That's the only art they've ever done. So very forgettable, but really like this card, very dramatic with the light from above, heavy shadow on a very menacing Zangoose. So good card. Good card. The next card that came out is the Midori Harada card, and in Japanese this came out in the Fire Quick Construction Pack or something like that. I don't know, some little quarter deck thing from January of 2005. Harada's a very swishy artwork. No real background of any note in this. I'm not a big fan of Harada. Came out in EX Emerald in English in May of 2005. And EX Emerald's a very strange set. I mean, it's a favourite set of mine, but there's no Japanese equivalent. It's an amalgam of deck cards and promo cards and things from the Japanese side that were all put together into a card. You have the Pokeballs as the background, and the rares had a green logo. If they're not rare, they have a silvery logo. So it's okay. It's Harada, but it's not my thing. The next one is very much my thing. The next one is Mitsuhiro Arita, and this came out again in a deck, or a quarter deck. It was in the gift box Mew Lucario deck box. This was in the Mew quarter deck. It's November 2005. In English we got it in EX Holland Phantoms. Very nice reverse background in Holland Phantom's reverses are lovely. But it's a dramatic card, very low angle, very heavy shadow. Love the look in Zangoose's face. Yep, very nice card. Because it's by Mitsuhiro Arita. The next card that came out is a Delta species, Zangoose. And it's by Koiki Saito. Again, very dramatic. Like the angle and the pale outlines beyond the black lines. Really lifting Zangoose out of the card. It's very typical of Koiki Saito artwork. This came out in Japanese as a Meiji Chocolate promo in June of 2006. This one here. In English, it was in Pop series, the little promo packs of 2 or 3 cards or whatever they were, in March of 2007. And there was also there's a mirror, it's a mirror promo foil, I think. I haven't seen it. It was only released in North America in October 2010, as far as I know. It's just not easy to come by. And it's got gold borders and a bit of hollow. So, yeah, I don't have that, unfortunately. But it's a very nice card, and I rate it highly. The next card that came out was the Ken Sugimori card. Now, this is a strange card. This was in EX Power Keepers in English. The English equivalent, it's just a bit of stock Sugimori art. I think it's possibly the same. No, it's not quite the same as that one, but, or is it? No, it's not. Anyway, it's Sugimori's standard art over a background just plastered on it. The Japanese one, can't find it. Very strange, because it's a set card. It's not a promo or anything special. It's just a rare and non-hollow. The Japanese equivalent of EX Power Keepers was known as the World Champions Pack, and it was quite short printed. So a lot of the cards from that set are not easy to find, but there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to find a Zangoose, and I can't at the moment. So there are. I have seen, yeah, someone sent me a link to one available in Japan. I can't read Japanese, so I can't order from Japanese. So, but in English markets, it's very hard to find the Japanese print of that one at the moment. I will eventually. Right, forget that one. Fukuda. So this is Mazakatsu Fukuda, and this came out in Dawn Dash in Japanese in October 2007, and it was in English in the Great Encounters of February 2008, and it's a mirror foil. Fukuda sometimes is amazing. Fukuda sometimes is really not my thing at all. This is somewhere in the middle, but on the lower end of middle. It doesn't really work for me. It's a bit too... he'd come out of his... I think this is just after he was doing his strong outline stuff, but it's just not very distinguished. It's okay. Sorry, doesn't really float my boat. This does. This is by Hajime Kusajima, and this very chibi teddy bear, cuddly, lovely colours in this, strong outlines, really ticks all the boxes that make a nice card for me. And this was Galactic Conquest of October 2008, and in English it was in Platinum, February of 2009, I think. Yeah, very strong. Nice card. Swinging back in the other direction, the next one is my least favourite by a long way. In fact, it's one of my least favourite Pokemon cards ever. It's by Kawahara, and it's from Lost Link in April 2010 in Japanese. There's also a very, somewhat expensive promo version of this, hollow version, which I'm not going to get because it's expensive and I don't like it. The English one was from Call of Legends in February of 2011, but yeah, it's horribly... I don't like the colours. They're nauseous, greens, purples. Don't like the plastic look of non-furry Zangoose, and the eyes are just creepy. Everything about it. Hate that card, sorry. Not my thing. Double Crisis was the next one. There weren't many during this period. It was quite a big gap between cards. So we have Double Crisis, Team Magma and Zangoose, but we also have features predominantly on the Survivor as well. This one's by Shin Nagasawa. This one is by Naoki Saito. But we'll put that one aside because it's not actually a Zangoose card, even though you'd think it was. Yeah, I love the background here with all the different members of Team Magma and their Pokemon. Little Camerupt, large Camerupt in the back, and Baltoy, etc. Chiclado. Not particularly a fan of the actual Zangoose. Looks a bit squashed. Looks a little tubby. Yeah, doesn't really work for me. But there we are. Interesting card, very interesting set, but quite expensive these days. And the next one is Mitsutsutsui, and this was a Korokoro promo. And this came out in June of 2018, somewhere around, I think summer of 2018. And is a holo and is very nice. Love the movement in this, the paw up, solid thick paws, fluffy tail, nice looking Zangoose's face of determination. Yeah, very well done card. And in English it was in Team Up of February 2019 with the Sun and Moon period holofoil. Yeah, nice card, like that one. Next up is Koizumi, and it's a little bit muddy. The colours are a bit muted, and I suppose it could be low light at dusk or something. But the drama of the card is very strong. Running at the camera, claws out, very Wolverine. Yeah, it's just a little bit. I would have liked a little bit more contrast in the colours. It's all a bit muddy. But it's quite nice, and it came out in Remix Bout of July 2019 in Japanese. There's also another print of it which I haven't pulled out of the file. No, I haven't. That was the same from the EVV deck, unless that's this one. No, this is the print from the Remix Bout, and then it was in Cosmic Eclipse in English in November 2019. Right. Next one is Anasaki Dynamic from Peerless Fighters, and also from Chilling Rain. And this is, look at the centering on this, terrible centering. Should get a better copy. Yeah, so this is Peerless Fighters, March 21, Anasaki Dynamic. Yeah, I like it a lot of drama. Not quite sure what the water, I suppose it's water, yeah, it's got to be water flowing around Zangoose, but very nice artwork. Yeah, works well. And we're on to the last couple now. Yuya Oka, who is an artist I collect, very much a favourite of mine. There are 3 Japanese prints of this one. This one's from the EX Start Set Quaxley and Mimikyu, January 23. This one's from the Water Greninja EX Start Deck of July 23. And this one's from the Venusaur Charizard Blastoise Special Deck set from November of 23. In English, lots of that's just from Scarlet and Violet base set. Although I do like Oka's work, and this is a clean bit of artwork, it's not one of his stronger cards. It's okay. I think the colour, there's not enough colour in it. There's not enough contrast, depth of field. It's a little bit washed out because of the sandy background, and the colour's not really lifting it in any way. But it's okay. It's not a bad card. Not a bad card, but it's not one that's going to make my top 5 or so. And the most recent one we've had, it also came out in English. This is by Aoki. This came out in the Scarlet and Violet base set in March 23, and it was also in a regular set in Japanese in the Scarlet EX of January 23. The foreshortening of the arm is disturbing. This right arm, it looks too short. I know it's coming forward and out, but it still looks way too short. So it doesn't quite work for me on that level. But I like the drama of it. The face on Zangoose is very good, and the colours of the background, very nice. So it's not a bad card. Colourless cards sometimes suffer if there's not enough colour also in the image. They do look very washed out. But there you are. So that is Zangoose, who appears in a lot of Survivor cards. And hasn't had that many cards, considering. I always feel, well, when the game came out, Ruby Sapphire was Ruby Sapphire, yes. having a brain blip. When the game came out, I thought it was one of the strongest Pokemon in Generation 3, but it didn't seem to get the love and wasn't pushed forward into the spotlight enough. Rather forgotten about Pokemon. It's not probably very good competitively in the game. It's very mediocre, and that's probably why it didn't get picked up more. But this is probably one of my, certainly in my top 3 cards. The very first card, I think Himamara did a wonderful job on that. So that is a look at the history of Zangoose in the trading card game, and in the trading figure game in this instance. But there we go. Hope somebody found that interesting. If they didn't, I do these for myself, so it doesn't matter.